Okay, guys, welcome back on top of the show. I must say good morning officially from Property Matter. I know say I don't say that this morning, but then this is not the first time this week, first time this month, we still me good day with Mr. Debo on top Property Matter. Okay, so like I've been promised, I say for all of you now, we get questions. Maybe like now, rain they fall. Island people, especially my friends, they've been complaining. Say, Slim, do you know how much I'm paying for this rent? And I am not enjoying it. And I say, how much are you paying? Come to mainland. You know, island is not for everybody if you don't have mind. But anyway, so that's what they talk about a whole lot. Mr. Debo is here obviously to do justice to that this morning. My name is Slimy. You don't talk about your own family entertainment channel. Mr. Debo. Good morning, sir.
Slimmy T.
Don't say what is in your mind.
Well, you know now.
No, don't say what is in your mind. Don't say what is
We
in
see
your
you
mind.
today, we don't see you tomorrow.
Nah.
You are not an expatriate on this show.
Nah, I've been going to look for land to buy.
See? You are not an expatriate on this show. How are you?
I'm very well.
You're looking slimmy.
Thank God. I'm not looking like someone else.
See?
So, what are we going to today?
Okay, well, we just want to talk about property rental income, property rental income investment in Nigeria. Yes. You know that all over the world, okay, one of the areas people put their money in is in properties.
Okay.
And the main reason why they do that and how they intend to make money from investing in property is that they will rent the properties out, okay, and it would enable people to be able to, be paying them rent, and they will make money that way, So we just want to break down that process, okay, and also probably compare what obtains in Nigeria to what obtains maybe in other parts, of the world. So, for example, property rental income in Nigeria is not really that fantastic. Ordinarily, please underline the word ordinarily. Okay, because there are things you can do to make it fantastic, and we'll be mentioning some of those things. And when I say it's not really fantastic, of course, we are comparing it to some other parts of the world where rental income may be a lot better. Yield, as in what you get when you are investing in property, is called yield. How you measure what you get may be important. I mean, maybe better. So, especially in developed economies, you know that you are, when we opened the show now, you were talking about rent in Lekki. But have you heard about the amount people pay as per rent in some parts of the world? Developed parts of the world, for example.
I don't.
No, I just want to.
Yes, I haven't, but
okay.
I obviously cannot compare the economy to ours.
Yes, we cannot, obviously.
So
but I just want.
Making more.
Yes, in a way, of course, they will be making more if we also convert what they earn. But I just want to compare that, so that we know that we are not there yet. As in, things will continue to go up. That's what it is, So it's not really like that. It's compared to, of course, the economy generally. So, but generally speaking also, that's why that measurement by yield is very important. Yield simply is when you take the annual rent that you earn on a property, and you divide it by, you divide it by the cost of buying that property. You understand? What you get is what is called yield. It's a reflection of how interesting that investment is. In Nigeria, usually, if you like around here now, maybe property, how much do they rent like 3-bedroom around here now?
I don't know, but from like where I stay, you could get 3-bedroom for, it depends, if you are just starting, you could actually get for 800. You could get for 750. It depends on the area. Yes, and there are some that could go as much as 1 million.
1 million, okay. Now, do you have an idea of how much a property that, let's say, property that has 4 flats go for? It will sell in that area. Do you have an idea?
Within this area?
No, within the area where you have
like
the rent
Lekki,
information.
Yes, because,
no, where you have the rent information that you gave us.
No, I really can't tell because I'm speaking for Ajao.
Yes. Okay, Ajao. So you don't have any idea of how much they sell property? Well, maybe in Ajao, maybe a block of 4 flats. I don't know, but let's say like 40 million.
Okay.
Let's say like 40
a friend of mine just got a property.
Okay.
Not on the mainland anyways, and it goes for like 75 million. In my head, I'm thinking just 3-bedroom flat. Does it make sense?
Where is that? Lekki?
Yeah, it's just a bit outside Lekki Phase 1.
Yeah, that's correct. So, say for example, 40 million. Let's just put it that way. It may be more than that a bit, but 40 million, and their rent is like 800,000. So, if you put 800,000 annual rent, so 4 apartments times 4 will be what? That would be like 3.2, right? Yeah. So if you put 3.2 over 40 million, you are not even going to get up to 10%. You understand? But I'm not even sure a block of 4 flats will not be more than 40 million in this area. Do you understand? So rental yield, for example, in Nigeria currently is from around 3% upwards. 3% upwards. If you get 5%, you're doing well. If you get 7%, 10%, you are doing fantastic. Okay? It's not so common. You must have done some, creative things to your investments to be able to get that kind of yield, And that's what we say. So, however, you know that when you invest in properties, if you invest in a local property, for example, there are 2 ways by which you are making money. You are making money from the rental income, and you are also making money from the appreciation that is coming on your property, which is locked in, but you'll be able to unlock it when you sell that property, whenever you sell it. But that income is there because your property is appreciating every year. So those are the 2 ways you make money. So,
Debo, what about, please, I'm just a bit confused because, okay, now, I don't know, subletting, renting, I don't know which one, I don't know, I'm trying to get the difference. But then secondly, on the island now, I notice, these days, there are like so many buildings that I don't want to call them short time.
Shortlets.
Okay, short, like you could do for days, maybe 4 or 5 days and all that. So yes, do you think those people are actually making more money than those persons, like this one that you're talking about?
Yes,
now?
We actually had, the last topic we discussed was shortletting.
Oh.
Yes, was shortletting. And of course, it's one of the things, is a type of rental. Okay, and it's bound to make you more money ordinarily than if you rented it per annum out. Yes, shortlet makes you more money. Because they make
everything available.
Yes, it's a kind of rental that makes everything is prepared and ready in the house.
Bring your thing.
You just move in and stay there for just a few days, a few months or things like that. Not necessarily, you are not expected to be there for years and things like that. Yes, that's shortletting. Then coming to the first question, we're talking about clarification between sublease and rent.
Yes.
Okay, now, so this is it. If I have a landlord, somebody that owns the property, and I took a property from him. So let's say I took a 2-bedroom flat from him. Do you understand? I'm his tenant. I'm letting it from him. If me that is a tenant now gives 1 room of my 2-bedroom to somebody, you understand, that I'm collecting rent from, then I'm subletting. Do you understand? I'm subletting. So that's it. And to be able to do that, the tenancy agreement that I have with my landlord will tell me how or if I can do that. That is, if I can do it at all, or if I can do it, how I can do it. So mostly, they will tell you that you cannot really sublet without the knowledge of the landlord, without taking the consent, having the consent of the landlord to do so. And most times, landlords
because they know you make more money.
The landlord will say no. Not just that they know you make more money. When you want to rent a 2-bedroom flat to a family, and you rent it out to a family, then that family is now subletting it. pressure, much more pressure is on that facility than planned for. So the rate of repairs and damages will be more, and cost of operating that property would increase, So the landlord must get something for that. If he's not going to get anything for that, it doesn't pay him to agree to it. That's the truth.
Well, but it's not possible for me to have paid almost everything when I paid my rent. Like, I think that should not be your problem. If I'm having the 2 rooms, I have every authority over those 2 rooms, at least spending the time that
You have every authority as has been stated in your tenancy agreement over the 2 rooms. You can't do and undo just anything because you've paid for 2 years, or 1 year. No, there is an agreement that binds you as to what you can do and what you can't do, and that's it. So, you want to say something?
Yeah, I see.
Okay, so coming back to what we're talking about. So, rental yield is from like about 3% upwards. You would see that sometimes that may not be so attractive. If you say, I'm buying a property now, and until I sell before I make big money, but my rent would only fetch me about 3%. That's sometimes people look at it as maybe property investment is not so lucrative, or rental investment is not so lucrative. And I agree, it may not look as lucrative. However, usually the capital appreciation that comes on your property, compensates for the small yield that you get. That's one side. The other side is there are things that you can do, that can make you more money even as rent, as somebody renting. And those are some of the things we'll be discussing. If we cannot finish them today, we'll talk about them next week. So, one, for example, the strategies to doing rental income investment in Nigeria is, one, you buy. You buy the property and then you rent it out. You understand? Which is the one we've discussed earlier. Yeah. But you see, in all cases, you don't have to always buy the property to be able to rent it out. You actually can rent a property and let the person rent a property, and the agreement between you and the landlord is that you are going to be putting people in that property. So sometimes they call these corporate lets or things like that. Even organizations do it ordinarily. Some organizations have what they call guest houses.
Yes.
What they do is to rent an apartment somewhere, furnish it up and all, and they put their various guests there when they come. So that's it. Also, there are people who do this.
But that one is different, because they don't get to pay. The guests don't get to pay. I think the company is actually responsible for the payment.
So I'm just saying that, they put different people there. That's what I'm drawing. That's what I'm pointing to. However, so an individual or a corporate entity can also take that as a business, and rent properties to rent them out. You understand? So when we talk about yield now, if you rent properties to rent them out, the yield becomes better. Yes, because you are not going to be dividing your rental income by the cost of the property purchase. You are just going to be dividing your rental income by the rental amount you paid. So you see some people who have modeled the business of what we call rent to rent. There is buy to rent, there is rent to rent. Okay. So in that case, I rent from a landlord. I would have told the landlord, I'm a corporate rent person. This is for corporate rent because we'll be bringing different people in it. So people will come and go, something like that.
That's more or less like Nigeria.
That's what short letting is about now. Really? That's short letting, and there are people who don't own their short let apartment. They rented it also. To do that short letting.
Yes.
They rented it. They don't own it. Yeah, Daniel. We have Daniel from the Plateau.
Hello, good morning.
Daniel, how are you? How is the Plateau this morning?
Fine, Plateau is fine. Good morning.
Great, good morning.
So, which one are you doing? Are you renting? Are you rented? What's your question?
Actually, I'm kind of confused because what Engineer Debo is saying, I actually like it. Where I want to come in is, why is it that some landlords, they pick offense when you rent an apartment and you want to rent it maybe for your friend? Then there's this thing that they always call it sublet.
Sublet, yeah.
So why is it that they always pick offense if you want to try that one? And maybe when you can actually make cool money, cool cash with it.
You probably did not join us in time because Lily had asked that question. So it's because what is your agreement? What do you have in your agreement with the landlord? Do you understand? What do you have in your agreement? If what you have in your agreement does not allow you to be able to sublet without the consent of the landlord, then you really cannot do it. And guess what? If you really did not pre-inform the landlord, okay, that this is what I'll be doing, you just came in and then you now want to tell him that, okay, I want to get somebody in and all. Most likely he will say no. Or if he won't say no, he will increase your rent.
Yes.
You know? You know why? Because like I mentioned, when somebody rents a property, if a landlord wants to rent a property, you do interview, they will know how many are you and all of that. Why are they doing all of that? They are doing all of that because they also want to determine how many people will be in their property and to be sure that the property will not be stressed, you know, will not be stretched. Do you get? So that's why, so that the property will not be maxed out in terms of the usage and a lot of pressure on the facilities provided. But because if you start putting pressure on the facilities provided beyond what is planned for, then they don't have a choice than to ensure that they make the money to be able to service, replace those things. Because what it means is that some things will get damaged before their time. When two people are using something as compared to one person is is using it, of course it will need replacement earlier. Do you understand? It will have problems more frequently. Things like that. So that's why they need to earn more money to be able to meet those obligations. Okay,
so Mr. Debo, if the person is coming, I'm just trying to also, based on what he asked. So, okay, now let's assume I've told my landlord about it and he agreed. Now, if the person that I bring into the house maybe damages anything and all that, who gets to pay for it? Is it me or my landlord? Even if the person is coming.
So you are the tenant of your landlord.
Yes, I'm the tenant, but I'm also renting.
You are answerable to your landlord. The person that you are bringing in is answerable to you.
Me.
You should have an agreement between yourselves. So if the person damages something, it doesn't concern the landlord. It's you.
What if I pay the landlord?
It's you the landlord will hold. What if you are paying the landlord?
Like you said, my landlord should be aware, right?
And so if he's aware, doesn't mean the person is now his own tenant. He gave you consent to say, okay, go ahead, you can get the person in. If there is any issue with the property, it's you that he has business with. It's you that he has agreement with, not your tenant. Yes, that person is your tenant. You are his tenant. So you are answerable to him. I'm really interested in this topic. Yeah, we'll discuss more. We'll definitely have to continue next week, Tuesday, okay? So thank you so much, Mr. Debo. You're welcome. So we'll continue next week, Tuesday. Thank you. I'm Lily. Bye, guys. No, we are not buying, no. We are coming back. The best investment on earth is earth. The issue of say make a person get house, make a person get land.
Property matter na serious business, so one of the best investments wey person fit get for life. You fit interact with us on top the show or talk to engineer Debo through we phone numbers wey be 08173147589 and 08105434984. You still fit call us on top with Skype ID wey be WAP TV. Shey you be estate agent, surveyor, town planner, or you dey into furniture and you go like make the world sabi your level, come advertise with us on top property matter wey dey shele for WAP TV for every Tuesday 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. and on Saturdays 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. For advert placement and sponsorship, make una call Stella Maris on top 07039145229, Rebecca 07069691950, Faith 08173147426.